All right, so we're live. Hi,
We're
guys.
live.
Yeah. All
All
right,
right.
so today I have the wonderful Adam Rose here.
Hello.
He is an actor and a YouTuber and sort of like a world traveler. So he's all the
Nowadays.
things.
Yeah, nowadays.
So thank you so much for joining us, Adam.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. So I just figured, well, what we did was we asked people for questions on Twitter.
Okay.
So I've got a
I think
bunch of,
trying to see how this works here on my phone to see if I can okay, I'm going to pause it. Right.
yeah,
Okay. There we go. I think I did it.
yeah.
I think. I have no idea. Hey. Hi, everybody.
All right, so we've got the list of questions from people on Twitter. We've got the live feed of people saying hi. So if you guys have questions for Adam, you can also comment them and we'll try to get to them too.
Yes.
So yeah.
I'm trying
So
to
it's
keep up
just
on my phone, but I don't think it's working on my phone for whatever reason. But that's okay. I don't need to. That's fine.
I'm
You'll
watching on the computer, so it's
Yeah.
good. All right, so got a lot of questions about Supernatural. Are you ready for that?
What? What's supernatural?
I don't know. I've heard it was like this really small TV show that like just started.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. No, I've heard of it. I've heard of
Mhm.
it. It's about magic and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
magic.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of people just right off the bat were asking about like the how you got onto the show, if you watched the show before you auditioned, like what that whole process was like for you.
I was aware of the show, but I wasn't like a religious watcher of the show before I was on it. And then I watched a lot of stuff like kind of leading up to my episode, just so I could get a feel for the show and things like that. But the truth is, I don't watch a ton of TV, so it wasn't a surprise that I wasn't like following the show. And I haven't been able to keep up because again, I'm like busy. I don't watch a lot of TV. I have Game of Thrones to watch, and who's
Oh,
got time for
yeah.
that? And so it's tough to keep up with. But obviously, I'm proud to be on the show.
So for you going into that, how did that opportunity come about to you? Like what was that process like auditioning and getting
Yeah.
a part on it?
So I've been acting for a long time. I've been acting for a little over 20 years now. And so yeah, the process is really, it was similar to any TV show I've ever been on. You get an audition, you get an appointment for an audition, and then they send you like a scene or two, and you work on the lines, and you go in there. And I went in there, and because I wasn't too familiar with the show, like I think I was a little more relaxed than I would have been had I known like what a big part of my life it would become. And so thank God I didn't really understand that at the time. And I went in there, and Ben Edlin was there, and the casting directors were there, and I read the scene. Like I think I just read it once, and they were like, "Thanks, all right, bye." And when that happens, you're kind of like, "All right, that either went really well or really horribly." Uh, and then a couple days later, got the call that I'm doing it, and I was like, "Okay, cool, great! Like this is going to be a fun character." I was excited, and then I got there, and Phil, who was directing the episode, was like, "So, are you on social media?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I'm not terribly active because I wasn't before the show." And he was like, "Oh, just wait, just wait." And that was kind of all he said, and it seemed really ominous. And then, I mean, I'll never forget him telling me that because ever since then, it's just been like, it changed my life. There's no doubt it changed my life.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I don't know if you've ever watched the Supernatural fan movie, like the movie
Oh yeah,
about the
I
fandom.
was there at the premiere.
Yeah. So
Yes.
like there was that part in there where I forget who it was, but they were talking about how someone came up to them and was like, "Have you ever been to any of the fan conventions?" And they were like, "What's the fan conventions?" And they were like, "Just you wait." Like
Yeah.
you don't really know until you are on the show and you experience it, like it blows up.
I don't think there is another show that could have the same effect. I mean, maybe Star Trek back in the day, but nowadays there's nothing.
It's very true. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's just like if you're in an episode or two, like the fandom like backs you, you know?
And that's all I've been in. It's just 2 episodes, and they were very supportive after the first episode, in an incredible way, to the point where even people who have been on the show kind of think that I've been on it more than I have, you know, because the fandom just welcomed me with open arms and really just made me part of the family right off the bat.
And that's awesome. So when you went into, you know, you filmed your episode, and I actually just rewatched it last night because it'd been such a long time since I'd watched it. I didn't realize it was I thought it was like in season 9 or season 10, and I didn't realize it was in season 8 until I went back and tried to find it, and I was like, oh wow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is like, I mean, what is it, 4 or 5 years ago now?
Yeah. And it was the first episode where the boys found the bunker. And that's been in the show for such a long time since then. I was like, I didn't remember that was the first episode where they were ever.
Where they found it, I think, right? That's where they found it, that episode.
Yeah, that's the first episode where they like went inside and checked everything out for the first time. I was like, that's so
And
weird.
I remember shooting it, and everybody was like, "Oh, have you seen that set yet?" And I was like, "No, why?" And then I found out because it was like one of the most amazing sets they had ever built, and they built it. Like they made that set.
Did you get to go on that set?
I kind of peeked. I wasn't on the set because I think everything was hot on the set. But they were like, "There's a set," and I got to like look around a little bit.
That's super cool.
Enough for me.
I mean, it's an awesome set. I feel like if anyone stepped on it for like a second, they'd be like, all right, this is awesome.
I'm good. Yeah.
Yep.
It's so funny. Like, again, I wasn't very active on social media then, so I wasn't documenting everything the way I do now. And so it's weird to think about, you know, the life before I was documenting things and how I experienced a lot of stuff, and I have no record of it whatsoever, just like nothing. And now everything I do, I have record of.
Yeah. Do you think if you ever went back to film another episode of Supernatural, do you think they'd let you do a vlog about it?
Well, when I went and did the last episode of Supernatural, I did sort of vlog about it. Not on set, because, you know, well, that's not true, actually. There was a couple shots that I did on set where I was just taking pictures with people and saying hi to people like that were waiting outside where we were filming. So yeah, I mean, I think as long as I didn't give anything away, yeah, probably.
Do you think they'd let you like actually film on set if you promised not to do it until like put it up until after?
It's a possibility. I mean, they would probably have to run it up the flagpole kind of thing, you know. CW would probably want to know about it. It would be kind of yeah. Like the one that I posted, I didn't get any permission for, so I just kind of filmed some stuff that I thought would be okay, and then I waited until the episode aired, and then I put it out.
Yeah. I don't know. I just always thought it'd be so cool if someone could do like a behind the scenes vlog of like filming what a day in the life of filming a TV show is like. Because I know, they did that mockumentary about like a day in the life of Supernatural. And
yeah.
It's ridiculous. But I want to see something that's like
a real life kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. I mean, the truth is oh man, I might be making sort of an announcement on this live stream. My show that I did for called Budding Prospects for Amazon, that is not going forward at Amazon. They're now like sort of shopping it at other networks, which is a long shot, but we'll see what happens. But what I was going to say is, and that's a bummer, but it's okay, like, onward and upward kind of thing. But if that show had gone, I totally planned on doing like behind the scenes stuff and giving people an inside look as to what it's like making a TV show from an actor's perspective. So as soon as the next series regular thing comes along, I will do that.
Definitely. I mean, I watched the pilot for Budding Prospects, and I thought it was really interesting. So it's a shame that they're not moving forward with that. But
Oh, it's really good, and Terry Zweigoff is a genius, and so is his wife Missy, and they are. I mean, it was just full of talented people, like extremely talented people. So I'm sure if we don't do that somewhere else, we will do something else somewhere else.
yeah. Well, us, we're always looking forward to what you're doing next. So you'll have to keep us posted. I know you will.
For sure, of course.
Yeah. But in the future, whenever you're working on your next TV show or whatever, you definitely should try to vlog it because that is so interesting. Like when you do behind the scenes of certain things, like I love when you vlog behind the scenes of conventions, like when you have gone to those supernatural conventions before. It's
Right.
just so much fun to see your perspective on it.
Totally.
We see ours. You don't
Right.
really see yours as much.
I know, and I think the truth is like, especially on set, it could be of value to some people, because some people don't really understand what to expect when they get on their first set or if they're for their first job ever. So that's the sort of thing I'm always thinking about, of like how I can provide some sort of value to somebody out there who might be looking for this perspective.
Definitely. I mean, like, I vlogged the recent Supernatural convention in Chicago.
I watched some of that.
Oh my God. I was dying the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. But, like, people were saying this is cool because we get to see, I know what to expect now. Like, some
You
people
were
who have
really
never
embarrassing
been.
your friend.
Well, I was
Yeah.
embarrassing my cousin.
She did not. Oh, that was your cousin. She did not want
Yeah.
to be on camera.
No, I forced her to. She has to. She's my family.
I get it. Listen, I'm used to that sort of thing. So.
Do you think you'd ever, have you ever gone to any of the U.S. Supernatural conventions?
No, never.
I should invite you.
I try not to because I feel like all of the supernatural actors are always like vying to go to these cons, and so I try not to be too pushy about it. But when they invite me, I'm always happy to go.
Yeah. Oh, that would be so much fun. You could do drone shots in the in the auditorium.
I did that at Asylum.
I know.
It was awesome. And it was a little precarious, but it worked out. Nobody died.
That was a cool shot. Like that was awesome that you were able to do that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that place was enormous, so it was easy to do there.
Mm-hmm. How did you say you were hosting that or something?
Yeah, I hosted that one. Me and Chris Gout. How do you pronounce his last name? Gautier. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I was messing with him the entire time because I couldn't pronounce his last name.
Oh, that's really fun though. You must have had a blast with that.
Might be Gaucha? I don't know. I'm butchering it probably. Chris, if you're watching this, I'm sorry.
Last names are hard.
They are. Well, mine isn't.
Hey, neither is mine.
What's your last name?
King.
Oh, that's your real last name.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Oh, I didn't know that was your real last name. I don't know why I thought that was just your moniker.
Nope.
I dig it. I like it.
Thanks.
Where are you from? Like, where's your family from? Are you American or like how many generations American are you?
I think I'm pretty American. I mean, my great grandmother on my mom's side came over from Syria, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my dad's family, I don't know as much about his history, but they've been here for a while. So, yeah, no, we've been here for a while. My family has, but I'm in Ohio right now.
We're in Ohio. That's where Joanna's from.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm I'm near Cleveland.
Okay.
She's
from Canton.
Oh, I know where that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I flew out of the Akron Canton Airport last weekend.
We go there. We go there all the time.
Oh, cool. Well, if you're ever in the area.
Yeah, we'll give you a holler.
Yeah, if I'm not at college. If you're ever in Chicago.
I have never been to Chicago, and I want to go to Chicago.
You should come to Chicago. It's pretty awesome.
There's a lot of food I need to eat there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we've got the food.
I know. Sure. I know.
All right. So, I guess we should probably answer people's questions then.
Yes, let's get some questions. By the way, guys, I'm so sorry I can't read what you're writing right now. I wish I could be like answering you guys in real time. Oh well, Alana, you'll have to read me what people are saying.
Someone just said the interview got flipped around because you asked me a question.
That's right. That's what I do. I turn it all around.
Hey,
Like,
this is a chat. It's not a formal interview.
exactly. Exactly.
All right. So we already answered one question. Oh, Mackenzie wanted to know how much fun was it filming collab videos with the Hillywood show?
Oh, a blast. That was a blast. That was actually the first time we had met, and it was also my first time like in the vicinity of VidCon when I went. This was last year, and it was great. You know, I hadn't done a lot of collabs. I still haven't done a lot of collabs. You know, I'm not like a big. I want to do more collabs. I know I got to do more collabs. It's hard, like with my schedule and stuff, and other people's schedule. It's just difficult to get together and do something. But I know I need to make more of an effort to do that. But it was amazing doing it with the Hillywood sisters. They're so nice. They could not have made me more comfortable, and just like were so chill about everything. They loved the video that I made, and they were very complimentary about that. I love the video that they made. I mean, it was just like, it just worked out great, you know? It just worked out great. It was a very like good first experience, and they were obviously so generous because their following is enormous, especially compared to mine, on YouTube especially. So yeah, they're great. They're fantastic.
So, I mean, I have been following them for years, and I love their work. They just, it astounds me what they're able to create. It's so
Yes.
cool.
They are immensely talented, those girls. It like boggles my mind. Like when I watch their videos, I completely forget that it's them. Like I don't even realize that it's them. And then when you hang out with them and you're like, how is that? Like, how are you over here doing this? And it's just insane.
Hilly can transform into like 50 different people and look exactly like them.
I've never seen anything like it. Like, I don't know if it's just like, it's a mixture of like performance, but also amazing makeup. And then this like a great physicality to like, there's just so much, like, it's insane. It's amazing.
It really is. I mean, they do a fantastic job with everything. So how did you guys meet? Like, how was that?
How did we meet? I think it was through Twitter, probably. I mean, a lot of my friends I've met through Twitter, believe it or not. Yeah, I think we followed each other, and then I think I saw the Supernatural parody that they did, and I was like, and I just messaged them to be like, that was amazing and incredible, and I hope I meet you guys soon. And then I told them to just like let me know if they're ever in town, and they were like, we're gonna be in town for VidCon, and I was like, let's do something. And
Awesome.
you know, 8 jars of baby food later, we're good friends.
Oh my God. I was watching that and I was like throwing up for you.
Yeah, not my favorite thing to do, eating baby. Some of it tasted good. Some of it tasted good, and then some of it tasted horrendous. Like, why would you force a baby to eat that horrendous?
I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway, I need to turn this into a baby food rant, but anyway.
All right. So let's see another question.
Now, what else we got?
Oh, okay. So you know that tweet that you sent out the other day about that weird like request that your mom got to rent out that vacation home, and it was like, I'll pay you in chocolate coins.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. Someone wanted to know if your mom actually accepted the chocolate money for the rent and what the current chocolate to US dollar conversion rate is.
Yeah. She totally accepted it. They're staying there now. They live there now. They're paying chocolate rent. The eagle and the rat right? Wasn't there or a mouse? There was a mouse. The mouse and the eagle, they live, you know, harmoniously in this house now. And it's fantastic, you know. Oh, we're going to go have Thanksgiving with them eventually. So I'm looking forward to it.
Nice. I mean, you could make a whole YouTube series about that one.
Yeah, no, I'm pitching a reality show about this family because they're incredible.
Oh, I think you should.
Yeah, yeah, I'm going to. I'm going to.
That was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in my life.
It's amazing. Like when she read it to me, I was like, send that to me now. I have to post that online.
I mean, like we had a vacation home too that we used to rent out, but we never got we never got anything like that.
And I love that. It's just great. There's just so many wonderful things about that message.
One of the things that you'll cherish forever.
Oh yeah.
All right, another question that's kind of random, but you know that I don't know what you call them. Do you call them GIFs or GIFs?
Well, I call them GIFs, but technically they're called GIFs, I believe. I
Oh,
believe
really?
they settled this and they're called GIFs. I'm sure I'm really upsetting some people online right now that are like I don't even know what, sending me death threats or something because I called it a GIF. But I think the guy who invented them said that they were called GIFs. I don't know.
I think they're GIFs.
I think they're GIFs.
Okay, so that got off track. But you know that GIF of you that like everyone always uses that is like everyone loves bacon?
Yes.
Well, a lot of people want to know if you really like bacon.
I love bacon. I eat bacon regularly. I ate bacon today. I had a bacon and egg sandwich.
There you go. It's settled. He actually likes bacon.
I love bacon. No, I don't just like bacon. I love bacon. And the truth is when people talk about being vegetarian, it's the one thing that I always think of. I'm like, but bacon. Like, I could live without other things probably, you know? Like, I love chicken, but I could probably live without chicken, you know? I don't know if I could live without bacon.
Nice. All right, so that's a very true GIF. So whenever someone uses it, it's
Oh, yeah.
you got the truth.
Probably why I got that role.
Was that was that an actual line that they had written in there? Did you ever like?
Yeah, let's say it. It was in the scene that I read for the audition for sure.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I yelled it very angrily at a non-existent golem in the room.
So
Yeah.
that was another thing I was wondering about because like I was watching the episode last night and I was like, was the guy who played Golem, was he really tall? Or like how did they
No.
finagle that?
No. He looks like that. He is that tall. And what they did was the only thing that they added was they added like a neck, sort of. Like they gave him a bigger neck and a little bit of like padding here. And then his hands were fake.
Okay.
Other than that, that was all him. And that's his voice. That's his real voice.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Insane. He's amazing. He's amazing.
That's awesome. Like I thought, how tall is he? Do you know how tall he is?
I think he's like 6'11" or something like that.
Jeez. Jared Padalecki must have been like, oh.
Yeah, that's what everybody says when they see the episode. It's like the golem is the only being of some sort that makes Jared look short, or not short, but just like average size, I guess.
Yeah, because you watch it and they're both like, what is going on? And then they look shorter.
It's amazing. Well, because they are. They are.
Yeah. I mean, okay. I got this question a lot, and I feel like every time anyone ever interviews a Supernatural cast member, this always comes up, and I'm sure you've gotten it before. Do you want to take a guess?
I mean, there's a few that I get a lot, like what character, if it weren't yours, would you play? What are the other ones? What do you think your character would be doing right now? You know? Or like, you know, just stuff like that. Like sort of like, you know, taking your brain a step further.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
those are really, yeah, they get asked a lot for actors, and especially,
Yeah, at cons and stuff. Like that's
yeah,
like, you know, a fairly typical question.
typical.
I feel like.
But this,
Yeah. What is this one?
this is just typical for the supernatural fandom.
Let's hear it.
This is a lot of people want to know if you ever got pranked by Jared and Jensen.
Oh my God, yeah, I've told this story a million times actually, but oh, and you're right. This is a
Yeah.
question that gets asked all the time, which is why I probably answered it a bunch of times. But I've never answered it on your YouTube channel, so let's do
There you
this.
go.
Yes, Jared pranked me while I was while I was doing my coverage, meaning like the camera was on me and Jensen was facing me like this, and Jared wasn't even in the shot really, and I'm trying, and it was like a really intense part of the scene. You know, it was like the part where, you know, I'm basically like, listen, you know, I tell my, you know, golem what to do and where to go and blah 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 and that kind of stuff, right? And I'm kind of like stepping up to them a little bit for the first time. And so right when I'm doing that, I'm looking Jensen right in the eyes. And then all of a sudden I look over and Jared like peeks up behind Jensen and he's holding up a piece of paper. And I look at the piece of paper and there's a, how shall I say it, a phallic object drawn on the piece of paper.
Oh my God.
And so he's holding that up and then, you know, he sort of like turns his head and starts making some obscene gestures with that phallic object.
He's a 5-year-old.
And so if you watch the season 8 gag reel, you'll see me just start laughing and cursing all of a sudden during my coverage, and that's what's happening behind camera.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And it's always Jared. He's always doing stuff like that, apparently.
It's fantastic. There was a lot of laughing going on that set. A lot. And a lot of food. A lot of delicious food.
Oh man, that's awesome. They just are really good at catering, or?
So good. Like they every couple hours they would have some like new hot food like rolling on set for people to have like a little like appetizer kind of bite. And then at the end, this never happens on set, but like we'd wrap, you know, we'd finish shooting for the day, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, and by the way, there's a like a falafel stand on the way out before you get in the truck to go to your hotel. Like, pick up a falafel on your way." I'm like, "What? Are you kidding?" "Yes, I'm gonna pick up a falafel." My God, amazing.
Oh wow. Is it, I mean, I've heard from a lot of cast members that it's one of the best sets that they've ever worked on. Did it have a really like welcoming and nice feeling to it?
Yeah, mostly because of the food. No,
Was
yeah.
there bacon?
Of course there was bacon. I mean, at some point there was bacon. In the mornings, you know, in the mornings you could basically get whatever you wanted. You know, you go up to the truck and you're like, "I'd love a bacon, egg, and cheese burrito, like breakfast burrito." And they would whip that up. It's fantastic.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Oh, I'm kind of getting hungry now. We should have made this like a meal live stream where we were eating the entire time.
What do they call those things? Those like hour-long shows where people just sit there and eat food.
Wait a minute, that's a thing? And why
Yeah.
am I not doing that? Because if that's a thing, guys, if you want to watch me eat, like I will do that.
No, I'm not kidding. It's a thing. People do it. Like people have whole YouTube channels where that's all they do.
Really? They just sit there and eat?
Yeah.
All right, guys, no more travel stuff for me. No more comedy videos or anything like that. No more vlogs. I'm just eating now. I'm all food all day on my channel.
I don't know who came up with it, and I don't know how it got started, but yeah, no, it's a thing. Jeez. All right, so moving on from the prank question, because that
Yeah.
was I mean, that was funny, but you've told it a lot apparently.
Listen, I'm always down to say it one more time, you know. Somebody out there may have not heard it. Somebody.
Gotta let everyone know about
Exactly.
how childish Jared can be. All right, so
Yeah.
onto I guess, a more serious note. Maddie wants to know what inspired you to start your Love Louder campaign.
Well, oh man, what inspired me? A few things inspired me. Trying to decide whether or not I should like really get into the weeds about this or not. All right, I'm gonna halfway get into the weeds. Basically, there was some incident of sorts on Twitter that involved me, and I ended up putting out an apology about it. Um, and and rightfully so. And but it got me thinking a lot about the climate online, right? And it got me thinking a lot about something that I've partaken in, right? Which is what I can only refer to as like an outrage machine, right? And I think we as a society right now are sort of like things are changing a little bit, right? And things are like everybody has a voice, which is fantastic. And then I think what's happening is we're able to, um, uh, uh, you know, call truth to power, if you will, and we're able to speak up about our opinions, which is amazing. And I think that's what Twitter's great for. Uh, the other side to that is that I think, you know, you have what have become trolls, right? There's a lot of and I'm not saying that that's what was going on with the incident with me. It just got me thinking about this whole like outrage thing that happens online, and it got me thinking about trolls and why do trolls exist, and it sort of made me realize like, oh, because you know, Donald Trump will tweet something and we will respond to that tweet, and maybe we get a lot of likes for that tweet, a lot of retweets, a lot of responses. People really like it, they laugh at it or whatever. And I've absolutely done this. And it's sort of like we're rewarding this sort of trollish behavior where we're just, even if we're not particularly angry about something, we will retort, we will maybe seem more outraged than we are because, you know, because we get that like gratification from it. And I think a lot of people sometimes take this too far. This is a really long-winded answer, but sometimes I think people take this too far, and then it becomes so noisy that then all of a sudden, you know, the things that actually are issues for people become less, have less of a voice all of a sudden. You know, when people are pointing, you know, especially like, I don't know where you lean politically, but like, you know, there's a lot of like liberal on liberal hate that I see all the time where people, you know, are saying, oh, well, you're not liberal enough, or you're too liberal, and these things, you know what I mean? And it just seems like there's no focus. And so, just kind of bringing this back to the question, I realized that hate is a lot louder online than love is, right? The things that you say that you're outraged about get a lot more attention than the things that you say that you love and the things that you really appreciate and that you're grateful for. And so I thought, okay, if hate is so much louder, we have to counterbalance that in a proactive way. And the only way to do that is to do the opposite, which is love louder. right? And that was the only thing that, like, I was talking to Joanna about it, and I said that out loud, and I was like, love louder, like, yeah, yeah. But that was it. It was me thinking about the fact that, like, people probably, the ratio is imbalance with how much you complain about something, with how much you talk about how grateful you are for something, and how much you love something. And so I thought, create a call to action, because sometimes people just need a little reminder. And sometimes just hearing someone show their gratitude or show their love for something will lighten you up and will make you less inclined to hate on something for no reason, call someone out, even if it's not that big of a deal, or you know, respond to Donald Trump and tell him to, you know, go F himself, which is okay to do. You know, and again, like I do it. I've done it.
Freedom of speech. You can do. You can say whatever.
Freedom of speech. You say whatever you want. That's why I wasn't like, stop the trolling. You know what I mean? Like, no more hate. That's not going to stop. I get it. I get it. But what we can do is be like, hey, what do you love? Like, you know, who do you appreciate on Twitter? Like, tag them. Say you love them. You know,
Yeah.
say that. Tell everybody else what you love too. And I don't know. It's sort of like that idea of like a good news network. You know, it probably wouldn't get any ratings, but maybe we need that sometimes anyway. You know, maybe we need to hear some good news instead of everything that's wrong. Anyway, that was a really long-winded answer, but there you go.
But a very good one.
Thank you.
So yeah, if you guys have not seen Adam's Love Louder campaign, you definitely should. It's on Twitter. He's always tweeting about it. I think didn't you start your own Twitter for it too?
Yeah. It's Love Louder Tweet. Tweet or tweets? I think it's Love Louder Tweet. But if you type in Love Louder, it'll come up. It's a heart that's like shouting.
And there's t-shirts and stuff too.
There's t-shirts. I'm actually there's a little like store up with some Love Louder merch where some of it says Love Louder and it has the heart, and then some of it just has the heart. Nobody, or not nobody, but not as many people got the just the heart thing, but I kind of love the just the heart thing. So anyway, that store is still up, and I'm extending it for a few more days. The link is in the bio of the Twitter, so you can go check it out if you would like a shirt. There are mugs, there's clocks, there's notebooks, there's all sorts of stuff. There's all sorts of stuff. And it's, oh, by the way, it's go to an anti-bullying organization, and I'm actually picking between a couple right now, and I'm just finding out a few more details before I land on one. But it's definitely going to an anti-bullying organization.
All right, well, that's awesome. So thank you so much for explaining that to people.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and thank you, by the way, thank you to everybody who has bought a shirt or just tweeted something lovely and tagged Love Louder. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Thank you. I really like that account, and I really do, and I've tweeted this before, but when I'm feeling kind of bummed out, which happens sometimes, I just go to that feed and I just kind of scroll through, and it's very uplifting. So thank you.
Great. Well, that was a good question.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have headphones?
I do somewhere. What are we doing?
You're fine. I'm just getting feedback on my end.
Is this better?
Yes, that is better.
Yeah?
Yes.
All right. Okay, I can try.
Sorry.
I can try and find headphones. I just don't know where they would be, and I don't want to leave for too long.
Yeah, you're better. You're better now.
Okay, cool.
All right, so, I wanted to know, what made you want to start vlogging and creating content for YouTube?
Well, this might also be a little bit long-winded, not as long-winded, I promise. But basically, you know, I've been an actor for a long time. I also like to consider myself a filmmaker. I made a film before I ever started making YouTube videos. I made a short film called Queen that I wrote and directed, and my buddy Ryan starred in it. And it did over 50 film festivals around the world, and it won all these awards, and it was awesome. It was a really amazing experience, and I kind of thought that that would lead me to this, like, you know, fantastic film career, and it doesn't work that way. You know, it's tough to get a feature film off the ground, and so I tried that for a little while, and then after a while I started getting really frustrated and down on myself. Acting, as you guys know, can also be a struggle sometimes. Sometimes you're working all the time, sometimes you're not working at all. And I started getting really bummed out that I couldn't make things whenever I wanted, you know, and I couldn't have a creative outlet on a frequent basis. So I decided, all right, I'm gonna stop being precious about things and stop having like a certain idea. And like, you know, there was part of me also that didn't think that actors should do that, you know, and then that idea has quickly faded away since then. I mean, this was a couple years ago, and even then it was happening, but, you know, before that it was just kind of unheard of. And I just said, screw it. And I started making something that I thought was fun, which was That's a First with Adam Rose, and it was just me doing things for the first time. And that was a show that I sold to Mark Cuban. And it was the first original series for his app called Cyberdust, which is now just called Dust. And that sort of parlayed into what I did with Evite, the work that I did with Evite, where we did GTFO, and I let my Twitter followers vote on a destination, and I left that day. And it just got me vlogging and filming and documenting my stuff and editing all the time and staying up really late and just getting busy, you know what I mean? And I started getting really active on social media and getting more into photography and editing and filmmaking and all these things. And the reason why vlogging became the main thing that I made on YouTube was because it's the only thing that you can do on your own, by yourself, on the go, no matter where you are, what you're doing. It just made sense for me to start vlogging rather than trying to write scripts, get cast together, get a budget for production, and like put this entire thing together. I can put out a video every day if I want to this way. You know, it's liberating, and it changed my life when it came to me as a creator and me as a filmmaker and me as just an artist in general. It made me a different person. And so I love it. It's you know, I don't remember what life was like before YouTube, you know?
Same though. Like I mean, it's, you know, I'm not like you. I don't act, or I don't do anything professionally in the industry, at least not yet. I mean, I'm still in college, so I don't. But what you said about like you can do everything yourself, I think it's such an interesting and appealing thing about the platform and about the work that you can do on it, because you can literally take your iPhone camera and you can make something.
And that's what I was doing in the beginning. When my first vlogs were videos that I made with me and Joanna driving across the country on this cross-country road trip. And the entire thing was filmed on my iPhone with like a selfie stick. And I literally was like, hey guys, like I'm vlogging. Like, look at me, I'm vlogging. Like I had no idea what I was doing. And I would edit that on iMovie, and that was it. Like uploading my first vlog like felt so good, even though it was a really crappy, shitty vlog. But sorry for cursing. I don't know. Is this a PG-13 live stream? I don't know.
It's fine. I think they can handle it.
Okay, cool. And I just felt liberated. You know, I just felt like, okay, I can do anything now. Like I just felt like I could do anything. And it's been amazing. Like it really has like opened up a lot of doors for me. It's thank you, YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Same.
Yeah.
Thank you, YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, now, like, because before you did vlogging and stuff like that, were you just acting or were you involved in any other aspect of the filmmaking process?
Yeah. So I was mainly acting. I had made that short film. I was writing a lot. Like when people would ask me what I'm doing, you know, between acting jobs, I'd be like, I'm writing, because that's what I was doing. I was writing, and what was I writing? Stuff that nobody saw, you know, stuff that you know, it's like a script in my drawer somewhere, you know, like nobody ever saw these things because it's so difficult to sell a show, to get a movie made, like. And not that we didn't get close, me and partners, you know, writing partners and producing partners. Several projects we've gotten close to really getting made in a real way. And 95% of the time, and this is across the board, things just fall apart one way or the other in this Hollywood world. And you just become amazed that movies get made ever. Like, it's incredible. Like, if you watch a movie in the theaters, it's incredible that that movie even got to the theaters. You know what I mean? And so you have a whole new appreciation all of a sudden for movies, even if they're, you know, not the best.
Definitely. I mean, sometimes I'll just be sitting in the movie theater and a movie will end, and then you'll be sitting there looking at all the credits, and you're like, so many people. It takes so many people.
Hundreds, sometimes thousands.
Yeah.
Like for a movie like, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy, like 1,000 people work on that movie, you know? It's like, it's crazy.
And you know that because you have to stay for the after credits scenes. So you're watching.
You gotta wait there 10 minutes while just names are scrolling by.
And some of these names, I'm like, is that even a real name? Because you can't.
Oh, yeah.
There are just, oh my God, there's so many people.
Yeah.
And then you've got that, and then at the other end of the spectrum, you've got like YouTube, and it's just so cool to compare and contrast them.
I know. They're two different worlds, and yet they employ a lot of the same skills, and that's why YouTube's great, because it democratizes everything. You know, all of a sudden, everybody's got a shot. Everybody can be a filmmaker. It's amazing.
So, I mean, since you've started this vlogging and this YouTubing and all this stuff, has it given you more appreciation for other aspects of the filmmaking process, and has it made you interested in perhaps other aspects? Like, would you ever consider maybe editing for a TV show instead of acting, or what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know if I would ever edit for a TV show. I love editing, and I think if I ever make, or when I make my own movie, feature film, I will probably want to edit it because that is a skill that I've developed now, that now I have sort of a voice when it comes to that stuff. But I've always been writing. I definitely, I don't know, like I had made that film beforehand, so I don't know that it really awakened anything that wasn't there before, or that wasn't there already. But now it's just, I just feel more capable. You know, I just feel more capable to do these things. I never knew anything about photography. I literally never knew anything about photography before I started making vlogs. And then, you know, as soon as I got a camera and I needed to learn how to use it, like now all of a sudden I needed to know a little bit more about how to take a picture and composition and things like that, and photo editing. And so if you kind of like scroll back on my Instagram, you can definitely see an evolution.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, your Instagram is beautiful. If you guys don't follow him on Instagram, it's awesome.
Yes, follow me on Instagram, Real Adam Rose, everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, you guys should, like, you post awesome pictures, so.
Thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Um, okay. Let's see. I just want to make sure I'm getting to everyone's questions. Oh, Andrea asks, where would you most like to travel, either again or for a first trip?
Tokyo.
Tokyo.
Tokyo. I couldn't get enough of Tokyo while I was there. And it's probably for a number of reasons. Part of it was the culture shock of it all. Part of it was the food. I mean, the food, it was the best food I've ever had, ever, anyway. You know, like ramen in Tokyo is something that you have never tasted. You know, I don't care how many ramen bowls you've ever consumed.
A
You've
lot.
never tasted ramen until you taste it in Tokyo. And that's pretty much what I think about when people are like, where would you like to go again? I'm like, Tokyo, so I can eat some ramen. Like, that's just what and I also want to travel around more and just, there's just so many weird things to do in Tokyo that I really want to do.
But, you know, mainly food.
Mostly, most of them have to do with food. It's true.
I mean, like, I'm sure you could get some top quality ramen there. It wouldn't be like the
I'll
dollar
probably
ones
run
that you
also
get.
like a bunch of weird stuff too, like, you know, weird candy and just all sorts of fun, weird stuff.
Yeah. I mean, Tokyo. That's awesome. I've never been anywhere in that area of the world.
You gotta go. You gotta go. Highly recommended. Highly.
Keep that in mind. I do. Speaking of like weird and interesting things though, uh are you like terrified for Gish Whiz? Because we're on the same Gish Whiz team and I'm somewhat terrified.
Yeah, did you hear what Misha Collins told me when we were at Asylum?
Yeah, I watched that and I was like, shit.
Yeah, yeah, me too. But okay, and then Osric like freaked me out. He was like, he was like, "Are you taking it seriously?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, what do you mean?" He's like, "Don't do it, and don't tell your team you're going to take it seriously if you're not going to take it seriously." And I was like, "I'm gonna." Like, I'm going, wait, but now you're scaring me. What's happening here? Like, what am I going to do? What should I expect here? And he freaked me out about it, but then I forget who. Somebody on that trip was like, "Don't worry, it's fine. Like, don't worry about it. You're gonna do great, and everybody will have a good time, and it'll be fun."
Yeah. I mean, like, I did it once before, but I was on a team. You know how you can select how you're like a team to win or a team that's just playing to have fun? We were just we were just playing to have fun. So this year I was like, I want to try because Misha a couple weeks ago he said that it's going to be the last one. Did you hear
Right,
that?
right. I did,
So
which is really sad. But yeah, that means that the trip for whoever wins is gonna have to be epic.
yeah. So we should probably try really hard.
Listen. I'm gonna do everything in my power and in my time to kick ass. You know what I mean? And like, I don't even know do what. I don't even know what we're gonna do, but I'm gonna do it.
I don't think yeah, well we don't know what we have to do yet, but apparently we should know how to
You know, like,
knit.
how do you prepare for something like this?
You don't. You don't know until you get the list. It's the most
So
random.
nerve-wracking.
It's so random. Like, okay, last time one of the items was fight a drone wearing kitchen armor. So like I had to go in my backyard and my dad had to fly a drone while I had like a colander on my head and like I was holding a spatula trying to fight the drone. That was like that was one of the most tame items on the list.
All right. Well, any drone items, leave it to me. I got it. I got it
Okay,
taken care of.
you got it. So if you need to fight a drone,
Right? It's right there.
okay.
Right there.
I just I'm preparing you. That was like the one of the most tame things you could do. I don't
Yeah, I'm terrified, but we'll see what happens. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right.
Okay, I do have to ask you though, because I was wondering this. when when you were doing that vlog and you went over to Misha with the camera, did you tell him beforehand that you were vlogging, or did you just kind of walk over there with the camera?
I told him that I didn't tell him when I was going to do it, but I said, hey, I got to get you on the vlog, you know, so you can say what's up. And I can ask you for some advice. And he was like, okay, cool. And then I just sort of ran up on him. And I forget what he was like in the middle of doing something. And I interrupted him because he was in good light. And I was like, oh, he's in good light. I'm going to run up to him now because he's in good light.
Oh my God. Like, because I saw it. And first of all, that was very exciting because you got Misha Collins in your vlog. Like, good job.
Is that rare? Is that a rare sighting?
I don't know, because I feel like Misha just does things. He's kind of up for anything.
Yeah.
He's really like chill going with it. I feel like if it was Jared or Jensen, that would be like an accomplishment.
Right. Yeah. I didn't. Yeah. You know, like they're always so busy when I see Jared and Jensen. Like they're running around. They've got, you know, people to talk to, and like I'm saying hi real quick, you know, when I see them. So yeah, me and Misha were actually hanging out for that entire weekend. So it was a lot, you know, it was more chill, it was easier. I've never been to a convention with Jared and Jensen, actually.
Oh, wow.
The only time I see them is on set.
That's interesting. No, they're so busy whenever they do a con. Because, like, even from our side, we can tell that they're busy 24/7, like the entire day
They're
that they're
running
there.
around the whole time. The whole time.
But I mean, like, the Misha thing was so hilarious. I have to show you this. So, okay, so you gave me an idea because I met Misha. I've met him before, but I met him again last weekend, and we had a picture together. And
Yeah.
I was like, all right, we have to do something. So I asked him, and I had been playing this since I saw your thingy. I asked him if we could pretend to vlog together. So I got a picture of us, like, I don't know if you can see it, but we're vlogging.
I love it.
Yep.
Is he holding like a little point and shoot?
Yeah, he's holding my G7X.
Yes.
Yep. So I mean, I was hoping that like he would actually start vlogging, but the volunteers made me take the battery out of my camera.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding.
That's crazy.
Yeah. They were like, "Okay, so you can." I was like, "Can I have this as a prop if I show you that it's turned off?" And they were like, "Yeah, but you have to take the battery out." And I was like,
They were like,
okay.
"You look real sneaky, all right? So give us the battery, please."
You can tell that you're a YouTuber. You can probably finagle something.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
God.
Mm-hmm.
My God.
He did a duck face, so I was like, "It's fine."
Yeah. I think I do. I wish Misha posted more on his YouTube.
Yeah. Oh my God, his YouTube is so fun.
I know. I always am excited when he puts something up, and I wish. I feel like he would make some really great vlogs.
Yeah, because
Probably very busy being a dad and things like that, and like doing a million other things. But you know, hey Misha, start vlogging.
yes, you can come to us if you'd like some advice.
Yeah. We'll help you out. We'll teach you some things.
I
Teach you
just,
some things.
I don't know. I feel like, because he does it anyway sometimes with his phone. I don't know. Does this happen to you? Because, like, whenever I'm in public, I like to vlog, but I get really self-conscious about it. Does that ever happen to you?
Like when you're in public?
Yeah, because, like, last weekend I tried to vlog at the airport and I felt so self-conscious. Like, people were walking by me and I'd be like, mm, mm. I just
You
can't.
know what? When in the first probably like 2 or 3 months, I was definitely weird about it and just always felt silly. And then after a while, I don't know, I just stopped giving a crap. You know, I just like, people look. If you watch my vlogs, like people are constantly like walking by and like looking behind them.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, like what are you like? Who are you talking to? But I think now it's just that becomes part of the entertainment for me a little bit. It's just Some people want to jump on camera. Some people want to like be in it all of a sudden. So, you know, it's just fun. And then also, it's like a calling card, you know, because everybody all of a sudden knows you're a YouTuber. So they're like, hey, what's your channel?
Very true. I don't know. It's just, I think it's something that I'm just going to have to get over. And I got better because I did a thing for every day last weekend, and I got better progressively.
Yeah.
Because I just kind of stopped caring.
Once
But
you
like,
force yourself to do it a lot, you'll feel easy about it.
I'm going to have to try more because I still feel awkward sometimes.
And it also helps sometimes. That's why I put the camera down a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know why, but it feels less awkward for some reason when I'm talking to something that's standing still instead of holding it. But I don't know. I might still look just as silly to other people, so who knows?
Then you could just be like, well, do you know who Casey Neistat is?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Casey Neistat?
This is what he does.
Eventually everyone will have heard of Casey Neistat,
Oh, yeah.
and people will not think it's weird that I'm holding a camera.
He's so cool.
I love Casey Neistat. I have no qualms with the guy.
No.
You know, I get comments on the YouTube, people saying the copycat. Every single YouTuber I know gets comments saying that they copy Casey Neistat, no matter what they do.
Well, not me.
Not you? You don't get those?
I guess.
Well, I guess YouTubers that like are doing a lot of like walking around and vlogging, and like, and also especially if you like put music to it and do like any sort of fancy editing, then it's like, where's your electric skateboard, dude?
I know. It's like, okay, so I will make cinematic videos. They're never in the style of like Casey Neistat or anything like that because I'm not comfortable enough to vlog yet to be at that point where like you are comfortable, and it's clear that you're comfortable because you're very good at vlogging. Like,
thank you.
Yes. So I understand why you get those comments because I looked at your stuff and I was like, oh, that's kind of like Casey Neistat-esque. But I don't think that you're copying him. I feel like, you're going to have some similarities and it's going to overlap because Casey Neistat really revolutionized vlogging. Like
Exactly. You took the words out of my mouth. So basically that's the way I always liken it to this. We used to have black and white silent films, right? Mm-hmm. And then over time we got color and sound, or like talk, voices to these characters, and that became the norm. But I'm sure that like there was a first person to put like voices in their film, and then the second person to do that, everybody was like, why are you copying that guy? He puts voices in his films. But what I think people don't realize about what Casey Neistat did is, yes, he revolutionized the medium. He made it so that vlogging is now different. Vlogging has changed. There is a new tier to vlogging now. And it's what got me interested in vlogging in the first place, because I never really understood like what my place would be in a vlogging world. But as soon as I saw his videos and I saw, oh my God, like he's making little documentaries. Like he's making short documentaries. And that made everything click for me. So that's how I learned how to vlog, was watching his videos. So inevitably my videos are going to be reminiscent of his. And for me, I never cared about that, because even when I was doing the short film, I would watch all these interviews with big directors, Spielberg, Scorsese, and all these people, and they would always say the same thing: steal. Steal. Because even if you steal, you'll never be able to recreate what somebody else does. You can try, but what will end up happening is it will be something of your own flavor all of a sudden. You know what I mean? You will take techniques that you might pick up and things like that, but you have to apply them to yourself and to your own story. So, you have to, you know, at this, I used to be bothered by that stuff, and I used to feel like I wanted to answer even though I never did. And now I just realize, like, oh, these are people who just don't feel comfortable sharing their own life, creating their own work. And so they do what we were talking about before, which is go and crap on other people.
Yep. And, you know, I think every YouTuber has to deal with that. It's in different
Absolutely.
ways, and it sucks. And I'm lucky to not have to deal with a ton of it, but yeah, it happens. And then also, like, you think about it, Casey Neistat wasn't always doing this. Like, he did not start off vlogging, and vlogging was not his creation. He just made it something entirely different. Because, like, I started watching Casey Neistat before he ever started daily vlogging.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I've watched him grow from 100,000 subscribers to what he is now, and it's been incredible to watch him do that, and the success has just been so cool to see and follow. But Casey didn't always do that. You know, he has had his own style. What he did was he combined his style with vlogging, and then that's what made him so huge.
Right. And it changed vlogging. It changed what people consider vlogging, or it elevated it, I should say. It just elevated vlogging. It made people expect more, or able to expect more out of a vlog. And that, you know, it changed everything for me, because now all of a sudden it was like, okay, like, I can make something special that I'm proud to look back on, even if it's just documenting my day.
Exactly. And I feel like there's still some stigma towards, oh, you're a YouTuber, you're not like a real content creator, which sucks, because YouTubers, even though they aren't, you know, making movies that you see in the movie theater, it's a lot of work.
Listen, that whole thing, the whole like stigma about YouTubers, that's gonna be gone in no time. All right, like,
I think it's already getting better.
Yeah, absolutely, it's getting better now, and the truth is like, even in Hollywood itself, you are starting to see people, like, you know, everybody that was kind of shitting on YouTube before is now like, all right, well, maybe I'll have a channel, you know, and maybe I'll post some things sometimes. And frankly, I'm like, if it's good enough for The Rock, it's good enough for me.
Well, hell yeah. When he made his YouTube channel, I was like, let's go. That was awesome.
Agreed. My new life goal is to be on his YouTube channel.
Oh my god. Well, that's a solid life goal.
Solid. Super solid. Super solid.
Yeah. I just, you know what? I think it'd be great to see more, you know, more actors and people like you who will start up their own YouTube channel. I mean, I know that a lot of people don't have a ton of free time, but posting like once in a while, that's cool.
Listen, I always have at least time for one video a week. And I think, I don't care how busy of an actor you are, you have time for one video a week. And frankly, now that you can live stream, you don't have any excuse, because you can just jump on there for 10 minutes and say what's up to people. You know, sure, you're not like creating something, but it goes beyond that. You're creating a community. You know what I mean? There's nothing like it. And I think, excuse me, more and more, you're going to see people from the mainstream Hollywood or what have you, sort of merging these two worlds. You know, the mainstream and the news stream will become one, and you won't be able to tell the difference between like branded content and a television show. They will kind of start to go like this. You know, we might not be able to tell the difference as much anymore, and I think that's a good thing. You know, no one likes commercials. We don't want commercials. People like branded content.
So do you ever, I feel like this happens with me sometimes, do you ever do deals with like companies or anything and then have people dislike the video more because they know that it's branded content? Because
I haven't dealt with that. I haven't dealt with that yet. I'm sure I will at some point. I mean, look, as soon as my audience grows to a certain point, there will be people who take issue with anything that I do. You know what I mean? That's just the way. If you look at my YouTube channel, there are always some thumbs down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's YouTube. It happens. But
right.
It's just weird because it's something that I've noticed, not just with myself, but with others, that even when whenever I do a sponsored video, or even when I do a video that's not sponsored, but like a brand sent me something to review, it even like, because I only accept these things from people that I know go hand in hand with my channel. Like, I don't do it from some like random, like, I get requests from people all the time, and I'm like, but you don't have anything to do with the content that I'm making.
Right.
So I don't know. It's so weird to me how people dislike that. And I understand the fact that you don't want to feel advertised to, but when you're open about it and you're like, this is not being secretive. Like, remember when everyone blew up at Casey Neistat about that video where it was an ad, but it was obvious that it was an ad?
Well, didn't he straight up said that it was an ad? Like,
yes.
At the end. Who cares?
Yeah, but then they got mad because they watched the whole video, and then at the end it was
I'm sorry, but if you didn't know that was an ad, like, right off the bat, then you don't watch very many videos, first of all. But second of all, also, it's like, who cares? You just enjoyed a piece of content. Who cares if someone paid that person for it? In fact, awesome, they got paid for it, which means you might get another awesome video at some point, because that's the way shit works now. Because we don't, people need to make a living, and as long as, like you said, people are doing it in a way that is in line with the kind of content they already make, then it shouldn't matter if somebody is sponsoring it. Like, for instance, I'm working right now with Hilton.
Yeah, I saw that. That's really cool.
It's so cool because they hit me up and they were like, hey, we're doing this like weird like DNA test thing where we're testing for a wanderlust gene. And I was like, yeah, like, that sounds awesome.
And it's in line with your content because you travel a lot.
Exactly. I travel all the time. I'm also like into tech and things like that. So I just felt like it was like perfect. And it was something I was interested in doing anyway, and I may have done regardless. So it's like, yeah, sure, I'll throw your tag on my post and let you guys pay me to do this, because fantastic, this is awesome. And I'm not trying to fool anybody, and I'm not trying to, hide the fact that they're sponsoring it. I don't even consider it sponsoring. I just think of it like me and a company are partnering together to make something cool.
Exactly. That's how I view it too. It's like, when you get these opportunities as a YouTuber, it's cool to be able to work with people and different companies and just create connections. That's so much fun. And I don't really understand. I think there's a lot of stereotypes that go along with branded content, especially. Right. But like you said, if you're getting paid for it, it's basically like, we do this for free, pretty much. Like, we don't get paid for being YouTubers, and it's a lot of work. A lot of work. And we wouldn't be doing it if we didn't like it. So there's that. But, it's nice to be able to maybe like get something so to help you create content in the future.
Absolutely. I mean, look, if you're upset about something like that because you're a fan of somebody, then you should really think about why you're upset about it and understand that if you're a fan of them, they are making it possible to continue doing the thing you are a fan of, by working with brands, by doing these things. So you're just shooting yourself in the foot by being like, don't work with brands, because then that person might not have time or resource to make the stuff that you like to watch. So,
very true.
I think that's, again, it's part of the outrage machine. It's just another thing for people to go, like, I'm really pissed off at Casey or whoever because they're selling out. And it's like, really? Like,
Casey, like,
people should be so lucky to sell out. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a thing anymore.
And Casey made this whole video about I think it was like titled Sellout.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
And it
Yeah.
was this whole thing about how, you know, because he had this past where he literally was pinching pennies to now. And he's like, I don't, you know, he's like, if I'm in a position now where I have these opportunities and I can take
I'm
them,
gonna take them.
I know what it's like to not have opportunities. Like that's,
Right.
and so it's
Listen,
really,
I come from a very similar background where, look, my family had nothing. I grew up with nothing. My parents were the superintendents of the building we grew up in. We took the entire building's trash out 3 times a week. You know what I mean? Like, that was our life. That was how my parents survived. And so now, you know, all of the like taboo stuff about money and things like that have kind of gone out the window for me. I mean, I just started a Patreon because I'm wanting to do this new series on YouTube, which I'm self-producing and gonna star in and make my and self-distribute and all this stuff. And I also want to hire somebody to help me produce and get this stuff out there because I'm kind of buried in work. And so I was like, screw it. Like I had these notions about Patreon that I wasn't sure I wanted to do it. And then I was like, I'm going to do it because it's the same thing. If people are like subscribing to Netflix or something like that, it's the same sort of thing. I want to provide content to people every single day. And sometimes I can't do that because I have to like go make money doing something I might not be as passionate about. And I can avoid doing that if people are contributing and kind of helping me produce the stuff that they consume all the time.
mm-hmm. And I just did the same thing. Like I made a Patreon page a few weeks ago
I'm going to sign
because,
up for your Patreon.
oh my God, really?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my, well, I'll sign up for yours too, and then we can say that we're helping each other.
Perfect. It'll cancel each other out, but like we're doing it.
Yeah. I mean, like, here's the thing. I'm a college student. I
Yeah.
have opportunities in different places where I don't always have the means to go. So if I can go to these places and make videos and cover things, and you know, I'm offered press badges, but I can't go because I can't travel there. You know,
That sucks. You got yeah. I think a Patreon is perfect for you, and I'm sure your viewers are going to be happy to help you produce the videos that they love watching, as well they should.
I just think it's such a cool idea because, like what you were saying, it's like you can subscribe. It's like subscribing to Netflix.
Right.
So if someone likes your content, then they can be like, "Oh, all right, so then let's
And then
help you make
and the
more."
truth is it's more than Netflix because what they're really funding if they're signing up for my Patreon is not just my YouTube videos. It's also my Instagram. It's also my Twitter. It's my Facebook. It's my Snapchat. It's all of these things. It's the content that I'm putting out across all platforms, and it's not all the same content. You know, it's all different stuff, and it can be very time consuming. And I love doing it on a daily basis. But yeah, it's like it. You know, you'll end up in a homeless shelter if you are, you know, don't. You got to focus on yourself a little bit, also. You know.
Very true. Yeah, I mean, like I'm at a point where you know I can say, yeah, I'm getting a little bit of money from YouTube, but it's not like it's
Right. It's
definitely not enough to
not a
sustain
livable
yourself.
wage. Right.
Yeah, I gotta have a job. I have a job. Like,
Right. I got a job too. I'm an
yeah.
actor.
Hey, that's a pretty cool job.
Not only, well, it's a cool job, but the truth is it can be. Sometimes actors are struggling. You know what I mean? Like I've gone a year without work before. That has happened. I mean, in the 20 years that I've been working, because that's how things go. Things ebb and flow in this business. And so, as an artist, you know, I think something like Patreon coming along, it's an incredible thing to be able to build an audience, and have this like kind of one-on-one contributing factor.
I think that's very true. And I totally understand what you said because I've obviously heard a lot of things about actors struggling sometimes. And I know like that is very much the reality. It's
Totally.
definitely not
What's
all.
really cool also about the Patreon is that all of a sudden I get like a chance to, you know, have a reason to be like, hey, who wants to do like a Skype session? You know, like
Yeah.
we're doing right now, you know, like we could do this sort of thing. Or who wants to like, or I can like, you know, send you a snap message and stuff like that. Like all of a sudden the ways that I haven't been able to communicate with people or like more, it's like more in-depth ways of communicating with people. It's cool.
Definitely very true. I mean, it's so cool. I think that all the resources that we have available to us now are just incredible. Like we have access to so many things that can help us and just all kinds of platforms that we can make content on. I think it's so cool.
Agreed.
And it's cool to be able to talk to someone who also does YouTube and gets
I
it.
know. We're collabing right now.
Sort of, yeah.
We're sort of collabing right now.
Yeah, we're telling you guys all the YouTube secrets
I know. This is a little behind the scenes look.
of what we YouTubers.
YouTuber life.
Yeah, what we think about. I mean, yeah, that's pretty cool. Cause I like you know, I live in Ohio, so not a ton of YouTubers around here that I know of at least.
Isn't Roman Atwood there? Roman Atwood there?
I think he's near Columbus.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Yeah, cause like I don't really watch his stuff, but I know that he lives in Ohio. I think he's closer to the Columbus area.
I used to keep up with his videos and stuff. It's tough for me to keep up with daily vloggers these days. I used to be able to do it, but it's tough.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard for me to watch all of Casey Neistat stuff. Although he doesn't do like it as consistently anymore.
Which I'm loving because it gives me a chance to not be way behind on stuff, and I like that.
Very true. Because when he was doing it daily, I would be like, "Oh, but I forgot to watch yesterday's. What's going on?"
I know, and it's weird. He was really good about making people kind of addicted to it, where you kind of felt like start your morning and you watch a little Casey Neistat vlog. It was like part of my morning routine for a while.
Me too. I would like, okay, I can never do my makeup in silence, so whenever I'm doing my makeup, I'd put on Casey Neistat and I'd listen to it. Yeah, every morning.
Who knew this would just be us gushing about Casey Neistat the whole time?
But to be honest, though, like it's worth it. And you know, just talking about people you admire. If you guys haven't watched Casey Neistat, go.
Yeah, for the two of you that don't know who we're talking about, definitely go watch some of his videos. Start with vlog 1 and you won't be disappointed.
Oh, vlog 1 gives me so many nostalgic feelings.
Yeah, it was his 34th birthday or something like that.
Yeah, I remember watching it. I think I was like a junior or senior in high school, and I remember watching it when he had uploaded it, and I was like, "Oh, a video every day. That's kind of cool." And then like I don't think I realized, but then he started like coming out with these cinematic like vlogs, and I was just, do you ever sleep? Like
that's what was amazing to me. Like I was like, he must have an editor or something. And what I do think nowadays, though, I don't think he's doing this often. I think, whoops, I dropped my fidget spinner, guys.
Oh no.
I do think that when he was like towards the end of his daily uploads, somebody must have been like at least importing his stuff to a hard drive or something so that he didn't have to waste time doing that, you know?
I don't know, because he got
make an assembly of the vlog so that he could go in and kind of tweak. I don't know. I just felt like it's insane that he had. How many hours in the day does he have?
Well, I mean, he looked tired all the time. So, I mean, I'm wondering, you know, like,
He never sleeps.
I don't know. I feel like, because then he gets up at 6 a.m. and goes running.
Which I'm also like, no thanks, you know?
Yeah.
I like sleeping. I love sleeping.
I know, me too. I'm not a morning person.
I try to become a morning person, but I can't. I'm useless before coffee.
Oh, well, I think that's a lot of people. That's my mom for sure.
Yeah.
So did you did you go to college, or where did you go to college?
I did not go to college. No, after high school, I booked a play that was being done out here. I think Joanna's home. That was being done out here, and hello, hi. You want to say hi to the interwebs? To the interwebs? To all of YouTube. I'll be done soon.
That's funny. Oh, by the way, congratulations on your engagement.
Oh, thank you.
That's so exciting.
It was very exciting. Yeah, it was a good day. It was a good day.
Someone asked in the live chat, how long had you been planning that?
Well, I had been thinking about it for a long time, obviously. Me and Joanna have been together for 6 years. But I got the ring on Wednesday and then proposed on Sunday. So I always had an idea of what I was going to do, but I wasn't really sure. I always kind of knew I was going to recreate our first date, basically.
That video was so cute. My heart was like melting.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you.
Well, I'm happy for you guys, so that's awesome.
Yeah, we're happy too. We're very excited for the future. Good times. Good times ahead.
And did you say that your birthday's coming up?
My birthday's on Monday.
Your birthday's on Monday?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
I feel like the entire Supernatural cast has birthdays in July.
Are they?
There's so many people.
It was just Jared's birthday, right?
Yeah, it was Jared's birthday, and then it was Osric's birthday. And then, I don't know, like, just so many people.
Well, it's probably all, oh no, because they're not.
Oh, Brianna had one too.
Oh, yeah. This is in July, I think, too. Yeah, I wonder why that is.
July is just a month that I guess a lot of people were born in.
Good month. Good month, July.
And my dad was born in July too, so there you go.
So clearly, it's fantastic.
So we were talking about, and we'll finish up soon because I know you probably want to go talk to Joanna. But you were talking about college. You didn't attend college. You had booked. What did you say?
Right. So I booked a play that was being done out here in Los Angeles called Dead End at the Amundsen Theater. And so right after high school, I moved out here to do that play. And I always knew that ever since I was like 14 or 15, I knew I didn't want to go to college. Once I realized that that was an option, I was like, I'm not going to college. Because as an actor, I really just wanted to jump into that world and get as much experience as I could. So yeah, I just skipped college, and moving out here was my college experience. I made a bunch of friends from doing the play. I got a new agent out here, and just started working in TV and film right after the play.
That's awesome. That's so cool though that you could kind of just jump into it like that.
Yeah, I was lucky.
So kind of, I guess, jumping off of that, I guess this is probably a good thing to end it on. A lot of people also asked, like, do you have any advice for and any aspiring actors?
Oh my God, yeah. Make stuff. Make stuff. Don't wait. Wait for nobody. Steve Martin has that great quote. Be so good they can't ignore you. If you put yourself out there and you keep trying to get better, and you aren't precious, don't be precious about things, and make stuff. Make stuff and put it out there. Squeaky wheel gets the oil. I mean, there's a million of these like sayings that you just have to, you know, be like, hi world, like I'm here, and like here's my stuff, and look, I'm getting better, and look, I'm showing you I'm getting better, and write something, put it on YouTube, all of that stuff. I just think like people need to take advantage of the internet.
Definitely.
And
Oh my
it's
gosh.
not the advice I was giving 5 years ago. Completely different.
And I think that you bring up a great point. Like, you've got to just kind of put yourself out there because, you know, there's sometimes where opportunities will just come to you, but a lot of the times
you have to go out there and grab it. It's very true. It sounds cliche to say, but it's true. You have to. Oh, and the other thing is, don't be afraid of asking. There's a great TED talk called "The Power of Asking" or something like that. The Power of the Ask or something like that. And it's just about like not being afraid to ask, right? It's the same way. It's the same reason we both have a Patreon now, you know, because we're not afraid to ask. And say, hey, we want to make this stuff. Do you guys want to help us make this stuff? You know, or hey, you make things that I really admire. Like, can I help you make that stuff because I want to learn from you, or whatever it is. You know, you got to not be afraid to ask.
that's very true. And I don't know if you know Robbie Thompson.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I met him at C2E2, which is a Chicago Comic-Con,
Okay.
and I had asked him about coming on and doing a live stream, which we actually ended up doing, and that was fun.
Cool.
But he told me the exact same thing because I was like, you know, I really admire your work, and I don't want to be. I always feel like when I ask people about things, like I'm being pushy, and he's like, the only way to get something done is to ask, and the worst thing that you can get back is a no. And then if you get a no, you just keep pushing, you just keep working, like you just,
and you ask 19 other people.
yes.
You know, and I'm often asking myself, what's the worst thing that could happen? And that's true for everything. It's true when I go into an audition. It's true when I send somebody a script of mine. It's true every single time I press upload on YouTube. What's the worst that can happen? You know, and if the answer isn't, you know, you'll die, or, you know, I don't know, you'll ruin your life or something, then it's usually okay. It's usually like, go for it, do it.
Yeah.
And so that's just always been sort of my mantra. What's the worst that could happen?
And love louder now. We've got that too.
And now it's also love louder.
All right. Well,
Love louder is the movement. The movement.
yes, the movement. And then there's also a saying, love louder. What's the worst that could happen?
Exactly. What's the worst that could happen? Love louder.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad we figured that out, Alana.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on my YouTube channel.
Of course. Thank you for having me on your YouTube channel. I appreciate it.
Of course. So I have all of Adam's information in the description down below. I've got his Twitter, his YouTube, his IMDb, and then from there you can find him on Instagram and Snapchat. He's on all the things. Go follow him.
Things. Usually Real Adam Rose everywhere. It's
yes.
Real Adam Rose across everything. I'm even on Anchor now and Snapchat and everything.
There you go. So go follow him. He's awesome. And I guess that's pretty much it for today.
Alana, you're awesome. Thank you for having me, seriously.
Oh, thank you. It was my pleasure. Anytime you want to come on, just let me know.
Okay, deal. I will.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.